Hey everyone, it's Jennifer. Today I have a short video for you that shows how to combine your stamping with glitter. A lot of people ask about this and if certain products work well, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I find works best, and it's a sticky embossing powder, which I'll show you in a moment. First, we're going to go ahead and build up this background with some simple stamping, and then we'll add this glitter stamped image on top of it. So let's go ahead and start with the background. I just have a Hero Arts white note card and this great stamp set from Winnie and Walter. I love stamp sets like this that build up. There's lots of clusters of different images and then individual images that match up with it. This is clustered just perfect that you could stamp it once behind like an image just to add some interest, or you can stamp it to build a border, or as I'm doing here, a background. It's really easy to do. I'm using a collection of Simon Says stamp inks here. You could use absolutely any inks for this. I'm using the Simon Says inks because I like the colors and I like that it stamps nice and even when it dries. So I started with the dull pink and I've moved on to the orange and then the sunshine and then the apple green, and then I'll use the Audrey blue and the island blue. But you'll see how easy it is to build this background up, and I rotate the stamp so that I don't get a repeating pattern. Now this would be fun. You could use the other images in the stamp set to get different kind of background designs. So you can change it up if you want to. If you did masculine colors, this would be a great card for a guy. So now that I have the background done with those open shapes, I wanted to go through and add some solid shapes just to give it a little bit more color. So that's what's great about stamp sets like this one from Winnie and Walter, is they've got the individual little images that build onto the bigger ones. So I'm going in with the solid and just stamping over some of the open ones just to add a little bit more color in the background. So now it's time to add that glitter, the black glitter that you see there for the hello and for some of the diamonds. What I'm going to first do is take my anti-static powder tool just to make sure that if any of that ink is still a little bit wet, that my powder doesn't stick to it, because we're going to use an embossing powder here. Now I've got this incredible stamp set from Winnie and Walter. I just love this set. It's fantastic. And I'm going to stamp the hello greeting with black ink. Now the reason I'm first stamping it with the black ink is I'm going to use black glitter on top of this. And if there's a spot where the glitter doesn't completely cover, I want black showing through, not white. So this is just a good trick. If you don't have embossing inks in a bunch of colors, you just first stamp with whatever color you want, then you do the Versamark embossing ink over it, which I'll show you in a moment. So now I've scattered a few of those diamonds around with the black ink, and I'm going to go and stamp over every one of these black images with the same stamp in Versamark ink. This is just a clear sticky ink so that we can add some embossing powder in a moment. And this ink stays wet pretty long, so you don't have to hurry too much here. You can go ahead and stamp on top of all the images. Now I've got this sticky embossing powder from Ranger. I've had this forever, and I'll be honest, I didn't think I liked it at first, but I played around with it and I found ways that I did like it, and it works really well with the glitter. And I just found a few tricks which I'll share with you. Here's one of the tricks. You want your heat gun to be really, really, really hot before you bring it to the paper, because you don't want to overheat the sticky powder. So notice I just did a quick heat. It looks kind of bumpy and kind of boring right now, but really all it is sticky. If you overheat it, it doesn't stick as well. So I'll show you some more tips in a moment, but I'm using this glitter from Ranger. I really like this one. This is Stickles glitter. The reason I like this is it's got the little holes that you shake out, so you don't have to waste a lot of glitter. You'll see that I'm using very little, so I'm not even going to take the time to put what's left over back in the jar, which is always a mess. Only a little bit comes out. You can control it. So that's why I like this glitter. You don't have to worry about pouring the rest in because you don't waste much. Now this is another trick with this sticky embossing powder, is to press your glitter into it. So I press it in really firmly with my finger all over. Then I use a brush to brush away any of the excess. And you want to be pretty tough here. You want to shake off as much as you can with the brush. Now here's another trick that I think is helpful when dealing with glitter, is a Swiffer sheet. This is a dusting cloth that Procter & Gamble makes, and I love this product. And all I'm doing is cleaning up my glitter and wiping off all the extra from the card. And this will prevent a lot of that extra from coming off when you put it in an envelope to mail. So this is a great way to make sure any loose glitter comes off. And you'll see I'm left with quite a bit of glitter, and it really is staying put quite nice. I think it helps to not overheat the embossing powder, the sticky embossing powder, and it also helps to press the glitter into it. Now I'm also going to go ahead and decorate the inside of my card. I'm going to come back to the front in a little bit. I wanted it to cool down real good. And I'm just stamping some images from both of those stamp sets in the inside of the card so that the inside perfectly matches the outside. I love doing this. It just gives a nice finished look. Now, one of the things that some people mentioned as sometimes helpful is to, after you've put your glitter on top of the sticky powder, is to give it a quick reheat to kind of reheat that the stickiness and make sure the glitter's in there. I don't know that this helps me a whole lot. It does make it sticky again, so what I do with my anti-static tool is I just brush the powder over it so it loses the stick again, and there we have the glitter. Really holds quite well, but you want to make sure you do those tricks that I shared. So there you have a great way of adding glitter to your stamping. Really quick and easy card to do, and it really adds a lot of interest and without adding too much bulk. So if you're interested in any of the products that I use, as always, I have them linked below in my YouTube description. But also be sure to head over to my blog at jennifermcguireinc.com, where I'll have more information about this card and also some others that are similar. If you're interested in seeing more videos, be sure to click the subscribe button, and I hope to see you again soon.